We're here today for another video interview with a member of the Advancing Innovation Roundtable. Today we have Lisa Porlier, who leads the technology sector practice at Reynolds Associates and is also the firm's deputy country manager. Thanks for being with us, Lisa.
Thank you, Matt.
So we'll dive right in. Tell me what you do at Reynolds Associates and why did you join the Advancing Innovation Roundtable?
So as you mentioned, I lead the technology practice for the firm across Canada. And hence we recruit executives for technology entities across organizations within Canada. For us, the core to what we do is helping problem solve with organizations and bringing great talent to help them grow their companies. And that's really the core mandate for the roundtable, is to think about the issues and the problems to allow organizations in this country to grow to greater scale.
So Lisa, what's your take on the current state of the technology sector ecosystem, if you want, or even the entrepreneurship ecosystem in Canada? How do we stack up against other developed economies around the world?
There's a variety of measures. One I saw recently was the Global Entrepreneurship Monitor, and I think it ranked Canada as second only to the United States, as it relates to the share of working age population involved in entrepreneurship activities in this country. That's fantastic, but that tends to be the earlier stage, the core innovation activities. To get from there to organizations of scale, growth organizations, one of the critical aspects, besides capital, and we'll talk a bit about that, but one of the critical aspects is talent, and is human capital, if you will. And for human capital, what we're missing most is those core commercialization skills. So it's not that great technical leadership, it's not engineering, it's not computer science. We have that in spades in this country. What we need more of is complex selling skills, analytical marketing skills. It's those scale-up capabilities or those business building capabilities in order to take great ideas and turn them into great companies.
Now you've talked about scaling up, you've talked about growth. Recently Toronto, or last year I should say, Toronto, Vancouver and Montreal were ranked 17th, 18th and 20th on the 2015 Global Startup Ecosystem Ranking. Now, what can we do to get our big Canadian cities to sort of get up to the upper echelons of world-class growth hubs?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's a question that's been asked by cities around the world, certainly throughout Europe and other parts of the world. And when we look at lessons from other parts of the world and people who have moved up rankings such as that, one of the core important common themes and threads is this environment of aggressive collaboration. And by that I mean all the stakeholders. So if you think about the governments, the universities, the research labs, the enterprises, the entrepreneurs, they don't see it as a zero-sum game. So they see sharing ideas, talent, even capital, and moving between those pillars as increasing the ecosystem and the number of expected outcomes, rather than, gee, we lost our best engineer to another company, that's a loss for us, a gain for them, or a great research idea went from university into a commercial entity. So it's really about aggressively collaborating. And when you see environments like Silicon Valley, to use obviously the biggest example, that's what you see, that common thread that runs through that.
So we've talked about talent, we've talked about resources, human resources, which is a very niche aspect. But what do you hope to achieve, and you and your fellow roundtable members hope to achieve through this landmark initiative?
I do think that there has been an appropriate amount of attention and light being shone on the earlier stage, because that was an area post kind of the tech wreck in 98, 99, 2000, where we saw kind of all of the innovation capital and all of the growth capital got sucked out of the system. And so there's been a resurgence in and a recovery in the very early stage attention. So whether it's capital or mentoring, what we haven't seen is on the flip side, is the same kind of attention, capital, mentoring to the growth organizations. And so it's really kind of shining a light on that stage so that we can go from, again, great idea to great companies.
Well, thanks for being with us. Actually, you're giving us a great new perspective on growth, the talent aspect of it, and I think you're bringing that to the fore. That's very important, so thanks for being with us again. And for you at home, if you want to stay in touch, go on Twitter and search up the hashtag Advancing Innovation RT, or go to tmx.com/advancing innovation. Thanks very much.